I do want to say this though, Derek. The one thing I am excited about as a Ty Rodgers fan is that Ty Rodgers is going to be a huge part of this team. Like I think when he's on the floor, you are a better team. My big question is, and I'm happy he's going to get probably 20 plus minutes. I'm happy that I don't think it's going to be a question of whether he got enough playing time as a sophomore, because I think he's a piece you want to build around and keep in your program. My question is, can all these other pieces shoot well enough? Can they shoot well enough? Because he's not a shooter. Can you play him and Danger together? Can you play him, Danger, and Sincere Harris together? That's a big question for me. But you need Shannon, you need Damask, you need Guerrier, you need Goody to be really good shooters, because I do think Ty Rodgers, we saw late in the year, can bully ball people, he can booty ball people, and I do think that's going to be interesting, but he doesn't shoot like Jalen Pickett.
Right, yeah, Jalen in his last year at Penn State was pretty close, around 40%, and I know that he was able to, in the mid-range too, be someone that hurts you, and to this point, Ty not effective as a scorer outside of the paint. I really liked his ball screen stuff late in the year. Like, he was able to get wherever he wanted to go, get to the rim, was physical, like you said, being able to knock guys on his way to the basket. Can he get that left hand? We've talked about that a decent amount in recent months. Can he have that left hand finish to really become a more effective guy around the basket in terms of upping his finishing percentage at the rim? But I'm all for more Ty Rodgers minutes. I think it's great for you defensively. I do think has another level to unlock in terms of a passer. Like, we didn't see all that he's capable of in terms of the playmaking last year. So I like that about him. I think it's just going to be interesting because it goes from, I know Trotter wrote it, I think, that he had, 17 ball screen or 20 ball screen opportunities last year, to then just throwing it all at him if he is going to be your primary guy in that spot. And how does he respond to that? So I think you can also not necessarily discount the idea that, look, last year they went in knowing that they didn't have maybe a traditional playmaking point guard, just had some risk there with Sky's injury and Jaden. Like, oh, well, we'll just kind of be like the Celtics. We'll run our stuff through our wings. We'll be able to have Terrence and Matt and Coleman be able to initiate offense. Now, the structure within that and the limitations of those certain players, it didn't play out very well. There's a number of different ways to dissect this, but I mean, Damas is a really good passer. Yeah. I think that helps you in that dynamic. I think that Terrence has grown as an off the dribble guy since he got here. And yeah, the shooting around it is really going to be able to, I mean, if you go from being one of the worst shooting teams in D1 last year to at least a mid-level 3-point shooting team this year, you're going to win a handful of more games and be more dangerous. So there's that dynamic too. I think also with Brad is the offensive system. I mean, I think you can make up for some of the lack of a ball screen heavy, put the ball in the hands type of point guard every time if you can run some good sets. I mean, UConn, I know that I've heard some buzz around. They're like, oh, who was UConn around Line of Circles? Like, who was UConn's point guard last year? Tristan Newton was more of a big guard. Andre Jackson, kind of in a Ty Rodgers mold. But you know what UConn did? They ran like a set every time in the half court. They had a ton of shooting and one of the most dominant big guys in the country. So there's